Hey guys, welcome to Joe Ciminera Presents. I'm Joe Ciminera. Today we're going to do a movie review. Now I've been getting a lot of emails and messages saying, hey, how come you don't review movies? And the truth of the matter is I'm just so racked up with my own stuff. I just don't have the time to really sit and analyze someone's movie, so when you get a review from me, it's not so much like an analytical review where I tell you the names of the actors and actresses and exactly what they filmed on, exactly what they edited on. I give you my best opinion. Look, I do watch a lot of movies, and usually the ones I recommend, I've never had anybody come back and say, hey, that movie was horrible. So there's definitely one movie I like this week, and that's Gretel and Hansel, the new one, the 2020. And if people are confusing it, because there are so many of these made, so many directors some have tried to do it and others have succeeded, maybe one or two, but this one is really special. This is the one where the poster has her basically just stretching out a piece of yarn from her mouth. So Gretel and Hansel, an incredible movie, and I have to tell you, one thing that I liked about this movie over anything is the cinematography. I mean, they have got some incredible shots. If you're a cinematographer or you're making a movie and you want to maybe, get a little bit of inspiration on where you can, what camera angles you can get or what creative shots you can make for your picture to give it sort of that extra production values, Gretel and Hansel is definitely the movie that you're going to want to watch and see. Now, the storyline was great, a little bit of a twist of the classic, storytelling novel out there where, the sister and the brother get lost in the woods and they're really hungry and they walk into a witch's house. This is pretty much the same premise, but it's a different take, it's a different spin, and without any spoilers, I think that you're really going to like this one, and the ending as well, which is pretty terrific. I mean, the acting was spot on, but overall the cinematography, and what's interesting about that, we talk about low budget pictures and low budget films and everything like that. This movie was shot on a few different cameras. Now, the rumor has it, because I knew somebody who was on production set, so when they first started the movie, the budgets, their investors didn't come in. So they didn't have a ton of money coming in, so they decided to keep moving forward and just film it. It was actually filmed with a DSLR and Carl Zeiss lenses. We talk about that all the time, that the picture is all about the glass. It's all about the quality of the glass, and you can get away with incredible movie pictures just by using the DSLR combined with like a really good glass. I always recommend Carl Zeiss, but there's others that are really good out there as well. I've just been used to that brand for many years. So that was shot on the DSLR in the beginning. Get this, some of the parts of the movie were actually filmed using an iPhone 11, okay? That's number one. That's number two, actually. And then the third was a Red. So, and you do see people who are in the industry that do have an eye that know that are going to look at areas of the film and say, okay, that's where they use that, that's where they use that. But overall, I mean, masterpiece when it comes to cinematography, and I think you're going to enjoy that movie. I think let me know in the comment sections if it's something that you didn't like, or if you did like it, let us know about it in the comments. But that movie really didn't make a whole lot of money. I heard a rumor like just over $3 million. Didn't make a whole lot of money in the run, but incredible VOD outlet now. I think they're getting a lot with the VODs, but they certainly didn't have a good bang for their buck, when they first released the movie itself, from what I read. But really good pick. Take a look at it. Check it out. We talk a lot about this, on this channel, where the funding comes from. Where could the funding come from for something like that? Well, you can only wonder. There's always rumors and everything else, but most of it comes from sponsors. Most of it comes from product placement. Some of the funding can come from the individual investors of the movie looking to make it back on the back end. And that's great when you're going into a picture and you got, a $5 million budget. But what happens to most of the people who are watching this channel that don't have a $5 million budget? Maybe they got $2,000 realistically to put into a movie. Well, you can get real creative with that, and you should get creative with that. And I've mentioned this with my online classes and everything else, that you can pick a product placement for 4 or 5 different sponsors, and let's just say this couch, for instance. if this couch comes from, Sears or something like that, why not approach that company and say, look, we're going to put this couch in 5 different scenes. The exposure, here's the distribution outlet. It's going to be Amazon. It's going to be, Hulu. It's going to be Tubi TV. You're going to go down the list. And you try to get 500 from that sponsor. Believe me, it's not difficult. And most companies, if you come across real genuine on the phone and like you're going to be this hot shot producer, most companies will go for it and take a chance. I mean, $500 is a drop in the bucket for a lot of these companies. Even soft drinks, you can have one of your actors holding up a soft drink and stuff like that. But that's how you get to that budget. You get to that normal budget. I'm talking about $2-3 million budget. There's backers involved with that. There's banks lending, there's institutions behind that with proven track records and everything else. But I'm talking about the everyday in filmmaker who wants to throw a few grand into a picture. It is not hard to raise the sponsorship to do that. And you start with the most obvious. Everybody's going to drink in the film. Everybody's going to eat in the film. You're going to pick a car to drive in the film. You're going to need something to sit down or maybe wear in the film. And those are the people who you want to try to hit up. And everybody's got $500 or $1,000. So hit them up with that. And next thing you know, you'll have $5,000 or $6,000 for the movie, and then you could take it to step 2. And step 2 is getting sponsorships now for other things. It could be a movie premiere. So at the movie premiere, we have your poster at the movie premiere, and there's going to be 500 attendees there, etc. So at each level of the movie, you can get more and more sponsorship, and you should, because it'll actually help you where you really need to spend the money, which is the marketing. So, don't necessarily blow the whole budget, making this movie and editing it, because you could find really good people to work for inexpensive rates, especially if they like what you're doing, they want to be part of the back end. So, save the money for the marketing, because that's where it's at. Check out Gretel and Hansel, and let me know what you think in the comment section. Remember, if you're doing anything right, you're going out and you're making that movie today. You are not letting anybody stop you from picking up that camera and making your movie today.